In this video, we're going to show you how to set up the Kindle, Rainbow Birds, and Space Station. We already have two Kindles that we bought for our other two children, one who is 7 and the other one who was 9 at the time. We have 6.5-year-old twins, and we decided that rather than waiting for them to turn 7 before we bought them their Kindle, we were going to get them Kindles straight away, especially given the lockdown and not being in school. So we ordered these two, which by the time we ordered them in the United Kingdom, we could get more than just the blue colored cover. So as you can see there, I've got the Space Station one and the Rainbow Birds one, and those are the only two print type covers that they have. The covers are very nice and durable. The Space Station one is red on the inside, and the Rainbow Birds one is a different color on the inside. And because our daughters are identical twins, it was important that they had Kindles that were distinguishable from each other. When I get to showing you how to set these up, I'm going to show it in real time, and that's because some of the processes, they take a little bit longer, and I don't want you thinking that there's something wrong with your Kindle for Kids when it's taking longer just because I have sped it up during the editing process. So in terms of setting them up, it's super easy. You do have to have an Amazon account yourself as the adult, as the parent who's going to be controlling access to the Kindle for Kids. And setting it up is very easy within your own Kindle settings. I have a Kindle Voyager, which is a 6th generation one, and I've had that for several years and I'm very happy with it, which is why I decided to get Kindles for my kids. So when you switch it on, it's going to take you through a process whereby you have to add the child profile. You can't actually add the child profile on this Kindle. You have to have set up the child profile elsewhere, whether that's on your desktop or on your Kindle. The first thing that you have to do when you turn it on is to select your language. The language you are selecting is the language for the navigation controls and for the display as well. If you have a Kindle account, an Amazon account in one of the different Amazon jurisdiction, then you will have access to the Kindle books within that market. So if it's Japanese or it's German, so you'll be able to get your specific language books. You have to connect to your Wi-Fi, so it's a good idea to have your Wi-Fi password handy. Depending on your Wi-Fi speed, this process might take a little bit longer, and as I said, you need to have a Kindle Amazon account already registered. With these Kindles, currently they come with a free subscription for 1 year to Amazon Fire for Kids, which means that your kids will get access to a lot of free books. So as you can see, I already have a family library set up for each of the individual children, and so you have to select who you're going to assign this particular device to. There are quick actions to help you navigate through your reading experience. Most kids are quite intuitive in figuring this out. I've very rarely had to show them how to use it, and I think it's because they're familiar with using tablets. And so the design of this Kindle, I think, is quite good in terms of the user interface. So you'll see there the books that will be allocated according to the age of the child that you've added, because when you set up your child profile in your own Amazon Kindle account, you have to put in the age so that they can know to recommend age appropriate books. And this is quite useful. I have found that some of the books that are recommended for my 10-year-old are not books that my 6-year-olds would have found interesting. Some of the books, especially these Kipper and Chip books, which are the bane of my life, they tend to go landscape, and all other books that are portrait style are fine, but these ones are very challenging to get out of. So I'm just showing you so that you kind of don't panic like I did when I first came across them. They're quite, you just have to really tap at the top edge of your screen in order to get out of the landscape books. Although now my kids know to avoid these like a plague. Apart from the landscape books, everything else works pretty well. The touch screen is super sensitive to the point where if you're heavy-handed with it, instead of scrolling, you'll find that you're opening a book. When you select a book, it's queued up and it starts to download. And how fast a book downloads will depend on your Wi-Fi connection. So I'm showing you there what a book might look like and how it navigates. It's very simple to enlarge the text, which is, I think it's a lot more useful for the grown-ups. To date, I haven't seen any of my kids using the text enlargement feature, probably because they have better eyesight than I do. Even on books that have images, the color grading for the screen is good. Even though it's grayscale, you do get a really good idea of what the picture is meant to be. Pressing the Home tab takes you to your library, and you do have a progress page where you can check on the activity of your children. You can also check this activity on your own Kindle device as well. The cover has got a magnetic bit at the edge, so it's easy to open and easy to close. You press the off button that automatically institutes the screensaver, and when you close it, it shuts it down. And it takes a normal 2.0 USB charger, so you don't necessarily need to use the specific charger that comes with the Kindle itself. Another useful feature of the Kindle is the ability to look up the meaning of words. So in this example, if you look up the word beautiful, you get a dictionary entry for it. And the Wikipedia option is not available on Kindle for Kids, which is fantastic in my opinion. And another fantastic thing that you can do with this is then whatever word has been looked up is saved under activities, and if you wanted to, if you had the time and the inclination, it means that you've got flashcards to go over with your child to help them build their vocabulary. I have 4 kids. I don't have the time or the inclination to do that. I do encourage them to go over the new words that they have learned, but I can see how other people might find this useful. Getting the Kindle to full charge doesn't take long at all. So if you go into settings, you will be able to connect your Kindle to some Bluetooth headphones by turning on the Bluetooth. There are audiobooks available within the Kindle Amazon for Kids Kindle shop that comes with the free 1-year subscription, but you can only use wireless headphones for that, and you have to turn on the Bluetooth, connect it, pair it with your headphones, and then they'll be able to listen to audiobooks. And my son does that, and he says he enjoys it very much. To enter your parental controls, you have to put in your parental control PIN, and that will give you access to all of your children's libraries. And if you wanted to check on their progress, you would just check on their progress over there. And if you want to add books, when you click on their profile, you have the option of adding books. And you can just select the books that you have available in your library, and you select it. It shows a tick next to it. And then when you're done, you just click done, and it will upload the book onto the particular device that you sent it to. And when your child goes onto their Kindle, they just have to sync up the Kindle so that it updates with the new books that you have added. So your children will never be able to buy a book. You will be the one that has to buy the book, and it goes onto your Kindle, and then you then share it to your children. You can share the same book to up to the 4 profiles, because you can only create a maximum of 4 profiles on your Kindle account for the kids options. So if you buy the one book, you are able to share it to the 4 children.
Yep.
Our Kindles look so cute. Which one should I have?
So this one is yours. This one's got the juju. And then this one is
I see
Audie's.
that juju. I see that. J. U. J. U. This says Artie on it with the bird. So J. U. J. U. There is your name on it. Where? Somewhere.
Right, so you go put them in your caddies.
Mine's purple. Mine's